pretend it's just that. Well, let's see. There are bread laws here, and bread has its own book of laws. Well, Shadow, I appreciate you raiding in, because we are just ending stream here. I'm just putting the last bit of black on this rim. And then we're going to raid our good friend Luma, who is then going to raid our friend Life of Chai. Because Life of Chai is partner pushing. We want to make sure that our friends who are partner pushing get that partner, right? Because the more Twitch partners we have, that's the less money that Bezos is making, right? But yeah. Go ahead and pick that up. Oh, pull it up. Right, exactly. There's a dashboard. There's Luma. Raid. And pop up. Pop up. There she is. There we go. We're gonna raid into Luma. But y'all, thank you for hanging out. I do appreciate you guys. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're gonna be playing Bloodborne. We gonna get good in some Bloodborne. So, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Be safe. Love y'all. Hello there. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Aim off into the distance and aim upward a little bit because it has an arc to it. But
it's gonna be
don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. Don't do it.
The chatting. We're just chatting. Hello, everyone. We're just chatting. We're just chatting. Sorry. 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 Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? How are we all doing tonight? How are we all doing tonight? It is Wednesday evening. We are entering codes. We're having a grand time. And we are going to be painting some. Oh, look at there. Just subscribe with Prime. We're going to have a grand old time tonight. A grand old time. We're going to be painting. We're going to be finishing up some 40K orks. And we're going to be popping over, and we're going to start with Age of Sigmar orks. I want to start with them. We got some orks to do. We're going to get into them. We're going to paint them up. We're going to put some skin tone down on them. Get some armor painting down on them. And then we're going to pop over. And then we're going to finish up a couple of miniatures for 40K from the Armageddon box. And I need to start getting to work on those. So I'm going to have to paint off stream, guys. And then we have, I've seen the rumors of the new codex, and it looks like we'll be keeping the Stampa, but we're probably going to try and finish it off. God save me. God grant me the serenity to finish this guy. I have like 2 shoulder pads left to do. I have a little box with a gun on it or whatever. Well, just grant me the serenity to paint these bad boys tonight. Not tonight. To finish assembling these things so I can get them primed and get it ready for painting. Because I tell you what. Yeah. But we do have our wonderful Blitz Burnabama. We got our Burnabama right here. Painted. We're going to have to do the cockpit. Maybe we'll do some of the cockpit tonight. I don't know. Well, we got this bad boy. We're going to get it all like... We're going to get a wash on it. We're going to do... get the missiles and the bombs painted. You know, we still got quite a bit to do in this bad boy, but it is looking good. And they have a Flyboys detachment. It's probably not going to be good at all, but who cares? I get to have a lot of these guys flying around the board. We can get some, we get, what is it? The other bomber with the big bombs on it. We can get all kinds of stuff. But yeah, wonderful model. Awesome model. I want to turn around and address the stomp in the room. Why could you not be like your little brother? Huh? Why could you not be like your little brother? That thing has is permanently riled up, and anything that exits it is riled up, even out of the WOG. So there we go. We gotta prime the guns and the git that goes inside this bad boy. But other than that, we have a good. We're gonna have a good time tonight. We are painting. We're painting, and I love to paint. I love to paint.
Just for the respect.
And we'll turn that off. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. Not much to talk about tonight. Not much to waffle on about. Probably a little later we'll waffle on about some stuff. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we're gonna. Hazel's doing something. I don't know what she's doing. She's she's investigating something over here. Is Spotify not working right now? Let's find out. Properties. Yeah, that's being weird. Spotify was working, and now it's not working. It's doing that whole thing again. It's doing that whole entire thing again. Where it's like, I'm going to work, but I'm not. Wait. It was turned off. Let's find out what happens here. We got music. Let's see if it just decides to stop again. Because it was doing this a couple nights ago. And it would just stop. Looks like it might be a little too loud. Let's turn her down a little bit. And there we go. There we go. Maybe it's working. Maybe it's working now. Let's see. Looks like it's working. But thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you for joining me on a Wednesday night. I hope you guys enjoyed the full-on gear stream. It was crazy, needless to say. After I got all that stuff off, I was so damp. It's weird to say, like, I would have when you remove all that stuff, you know you're gonna be wet, right? Like, you're gonna be soaked to the bone with sweat. When I removed that stuff on Sunday, I wasn't soaked. I was just damp, and it was, for some reason, way more gross just being damp than it was anything else. I don't know how to explain it. It was crazy. And we were damp, and I did not like it at all. So, with that said, we're going to put this guy to the side for right now. Look at this. This thing is so cool. I really like the green on this. It looks cool. And, you know, we decorated it as much as humanly possible with, you know, different colors and stuff on it. And to break up the thing, we're going to get some dark gray. We'll probably add some chip spots and stuff once we get further into the process. But as of right now, Spotify just decided to stop working again. Oh, no, it's working. I see it. It wants to work. But anyways, I hope you guys are going to enjoy tonight. We're just having a fun, laid-back night. We're going to be painting some AOS, some 40K, and I'm very excited. Very excited. We're right around the corner from the release of a lot of the new orc stuff. And to say it's a little overwhelming is an understatement. Especially with the speed freaks able to take bikes as a battle line unit. War bikers. Holy moly, that's 6 units of war bikers. That's 18 war bikers. Would you want to do that? I don't know. Maybe some war bikers and then get some flyboys, and you're like, what? I'm a whole mechanized. We don't really want boys and all that jazz. And you're just like, I don't know about that. Then you're gonna need some mechs, so you can repair things. Mechs are going to be good in a lot of, like, just detachments themselves. So, with that said, let's go ahead and get painting. We're going to start off with some AOS. We got a War Chanter, an Aval Smasher, Groot Snaka. It's got a absolutely gorgeous model. Age of Sigmar's got some baller models, man. Baller models. And yeah. Oh, boo boo boo. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Since we don't need to see me tonight, I know you guys want to see my beautiful face, my handsome face, but not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. We need this. Don't lose that. That's part of the cockpit glass. That's some axes from blood guys. Bloodborne. Not Bloodborne. Axes from Blood. Oh my god. I can't think of their names now. Blood Warriors. Holy moly. Mother of pearl, that was difficult to say.
I'm done with that. You're way more composed than I am. I mean, there's no reason to get upset about it, man.
So,
it is
yeah, there's that as well. Let's go. We're helping a friend out right now. Nope. Let's get there, right there. But, yeah. Hey, guys. How you doing? Hey. My brain is, like, totally scatterbrained tonight. I am all over the place. Let's change this out for this. And we're gonna need the red because we got a squig. We want the cool black, bold white. I know I got a gray over here. The kitty. Just move it. Did you move it? Is it gone? Is it gone? Is the kitty? Did the kitty remove it? Anyways. I have no idea what happened to my dark neutral gray. I had it. Now it's gone. What hell's bells? That was what I was gonna paint the rocks, the big rocks as. Somehow it got put back. Or it's another bottle. One of the two. Okay. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we're putting some skin tone down on these guys. Boy, that was fun. That was just a bunch of fun stuff right there. Yeah, we got some good primer on them. We got some good primer. Let's shake our thing pretty good here. I don't know why I'm singing that song in my head all of a sudden. Everybody was kung fu fighting. Fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. They fought with expert timing. They were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown. They said, bring on the swift kicks. Let's get it on. How's everyone's week been? It is hump day. It officially feels like hump day, which is crazy to think. And man, this whole year is just going by quick. It's so crazy how like it's just going by, like how quick it's going by. But here we are. We're getting close to the end of the year. What are we looking forward to the most? You got some very cool movies coming out at the end of the year. You got Avengers Doomsday. You got Dune 3. We got in 2027, I can't believe I'm going to say that. 2027 will be right there. And, you know, we got 2027, we got some cool movies coming out. I mean, I don't want to say I know them all, but you got Jedi Starfighter. I know I totally was on a unhinged rant on Sunday, but I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. See what they do, because I do love me some X-Wings and TIE Fighters and all that jazz. So we got that coming. We got yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy to think about all the stuff that'll be coming out. It's really going to be crazy. It's going to be real crazy. Spider-Man is like blowing, like just blowing up. It blew up. Figuratively, it blew up the box office. Don't want anyone to come and demonetize me. Don't want an AI to be like, he said blow up. He's speaking of violence. No. No, no, no. That's not what we're doing, bud. Yeah, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens in Doomsday. Not gonna lie, the trailer looked pretty good. Basically, it looked pretty good. It looked pretty good. And that's... We got my nephew Julian's very first birthday. He'll be 1 year old. Of course, that's what it usually means when they have their first birthday. They'll be 1 year old, but we got that coming up towards the end of the year. So I hope will not be streaming for that. Then next year we have the wedding of the century along with I don't know how to say this, but basically my buddy Machine and his wonderfully awesome fiance. We got some skin up underneath this armor we need to get. We're not missing it. This is their rock star right here. We did clean our brushes. They look like 100 times better. They needed it. Me and the wife were watching an anime called The Thing. Anime called Shangri-La Frontier. Not gonna lie. Seems like a very cool, if they made it in real life, a very cool MMO. It's a virtual MMO. Yeah, you know. Got a lot of cool stuff going on right now. Let's get this bad boy wet to maintain that tip. I'm watching the Reacher series. Love it. But love it. And I've also been listening to the Reacher series on Audible. It is fairly weird to watch the show, which takes place in modern times, and listen to the books, which takes place in the modern time of when the book was written. Because they were like, is that a Rosemary and Company? Wow, this is a Gilded Goblin premium Kolinsky brush. This is one of those Facebook market or Facebook ads. I like anything with a Kolinsky brush, Kolinsky sable fur. I am in no way, shape, or form. I mean, let me preface this by saying thank you for the first time chat, by the way. WOG. I am no expert. But I like the response of a Kolinsky with its sable hair. I don't like the synthetics because I think they lose their tips faster. And yeah, that's my few cents. In terms of brushes, I mean, these were $30 for a bunch of brushes. I got like 3 or 4 of them in different sizes. And then it came with a couple of dry brushes. This tip is like absolutely foobar. There we go. See? Still maintaining tips. So these I've liked. My dry brushes are from these guys, Artist Opus. They do regular paintbrushes and Kolinsky. I've heard that they're really, really good. I don't like the GW brushes. I don't like the Army Painter brushes. I've had some bad experiences with them. So that is just my opinion. And then again, it's all going to depend on what you're doing. But I've been using this number 2, and it's been like a workhorse. And I've kind of mistreated it. I haven't exactly taken the best care of it. So yeah, there's that. But thank you for your question. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. This is getting a little. This does have a little couple of guys kind of wisping about. Yeah. If you want to know my paint preference, I am all about the tried golden maple. I think I have actually. And they were okay. If I remember correctly. Again, I'm very bad. I think I have. I think you could get those off of Amazon at one time. All right, here we go. Here's the hard part. Honestly, I'll say this. I'll preface this. If you get this brand, this Gilded Goblin, they're totally worth it. Like I said, I think this was like $30 for like 5 brushes, and I've had these for over a year now. And look at the tip on there. It's still nice and crisp. And oh god, it's still nice and crisp, and it's still got some spring to it. Thank you for the raid, Meyer. I don't want to try and say your name, your front name. Thank you for the follow, Dark Star. The order I have just started. We're gonna pop back and forth. I got this guy. I got to finish a lot of the cables and stuff up on, and a few other assorted things. And then the same thing goes with this guy. We got a few things left to go with this guy. I'm definitely changing this cable over to red. It's no longer going to be yellow. I don't like the yellow. And we'll get him all squared away and finished up, and so we're not going to put a bunch of stuff tonight. We're just chilling tonight. I hope I answered your question, Mr. Jolts. I'll tell you this. I will say these brushes I'm enjoying using. They're really good. The Artist Opus, I had one. I really, really enjoyed those. They're a lot more expensive. Squidmar has their own set of brushes that are out now that are up for pre-order. I think they're like $90, but you get like 5 or 6 of them. So, and those are all Kolinsky, and they have synthetic ones. This guy is vicious looking. Yeah, I'm sitting there going, should I get am eager. Well, you gotta let me know how they are, because I want to get a pre-order in for them too. And I mean, they must be good if everybody and their brother is buying them, right? So, thank you for the raid tonight, Meyer. I mean, these brushes are going to go soon. Like, these are going to go. I've had these for a while. And I've been taking decent care of them. So, Mr. Jolts, that is right there. That is what I recommend. Thank you for the follow, Dark Star, by the way. We're 35 followers away from 100. And when we get to 100 followers, I'm going to don my Jedi robes and I'm going to spend a whole string painting some Star Wars Legion miniatures. I'll even buy some new ones. I really want to get the Luke and the Han on the Tauntauns and then some Tauntaun riders. Because when I played, that was my favorite unit, were the Tauntaun riders. Loved them. Loved them. I was going to make an entire army of nothing but furry units. So I was going to have one non-furry unit, and I was going to be Leia. Then I was going to have a ton of Ewoks. And then Wookiees. Thank you for following Angry Grizzly Mini Painting. And then I was going to have a bunch of units of the Wookiees. And I was like, this is my furry army. I mean, granted, I could have just played the Republic and done a what are they called? Battle forces of Wookiees and gotten like the glider and all that stuff. But I wanted Ewoks. My favorite movie is Star Wars movie is Return of the Jedi. Who's calling me? Potential spam. Go away, Potential. I don't like that guy, Potential Spam. So I'm partial to the Ewoks. Was lurking in the raid, and you followed me a few weeks ago. Shameful it took me this long. That's fine. Buddy, that is completely and utterly fine, my friend. But yeah, I was big. I had all those things, but my playgroup just like, my Legion playgroup just like fell apart. And I was discussing this with a friend of mine who's another gamer friend, and we were talking about how like COVID really wrecked a lot of like gaming communities. And I was like, yeah, it just feels like it hasn't been the same since then. And it's just crazy. I know my local shop we had, it didn't help in their infinite little rant and their infinite intelligence. Asmodee. It's not Asmodee. Whoever puts out Legion, and then it was Star Wars Shatterpoint. They decided to do Shatterpoint. And at first I was like, okay. All the people that were like, why can't you just make these Legion size and just do what Warhammer does and create like kill team stuff? And I was like, well, you know, and then the more I think about it, I was like, yeah, why would you want to like cannibalize your game like that? And and at least in my community, that's what ended up happening. Is a bunch of people jumped ship. They were like, oh, this is the new hotness. And I had a ton of Shatterpoint players because I was the TO. And I used to run, let's see. At one point I ran X-Wing. Amazing game. I ran Star Wars X-Wing, Star Wars Armada, Star Wars when they had the player versus player board game stuff. I forget the name of the board game. But it had little miniatures. You didn't put them together. They were like miniatures for a board game, but you could play against other players. And then they phased that out, and then Star Wars Destiny came out, which was an amazing dice TCG, like completely amazing. Me and my friends still talk about how much fun we had playing that game. They had logistical issues with that. Gee, figures, right? You got an amazing game and you're going to have logistical issues with it. I don't think they realized like how incredibly popular it was going to be. Now we're going on to, we're going to have to get a bigger one. Oh, we'll just have to use our hands. Look at this guy's face. Oh, man. He's got some metal on there. But you'd buy blind packs like any other TCG. But you would also have like cards that had dice in them. So like your weapons and everything were like operated by dice. Your characters. It was a crazily fun game. And they didn't. This was I won't say Comic Images. That was, oh my god, my memory for this stuff is like super bad right now. Fantasy Flight Games, they did all that. And oh man, X-Wing was the bomb. And then they announced Star Wars Legion. I was on my honeymoon when they started like spoiling a lot of the stuff for it. And I look at my wife and I go, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to end up playing a miniatures game. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, they got a Star Wars one coming out. So popular. So just awesome. I remember running tournaments. We were having like, when the first wave came out, we had a ton of people playing. And then it kind of, the hype died down just a little bit. Still had a ton of people coming. This guy is wicked. And eventually, we settled in. So if you're ever gonna be a TO and you're like, I want to start this tournament scene at my local store, I'll say this: temper your expectations. Because if you say you're gonna have, if you have 30 players that are like, oh, or 30 people that are like, I will so play this, and then they buy stuff, a lot of them aren't going to show up. I learned that the hard way. I'm like, oh man, all these people are saying they're going to come and play Legion. I'm going to run these tournaments. We're going to have like 20 to 30 players or 15 players. And we had like 5, 6. A lot of people bought the stuff. But a lot of people couldn't devote the time to come to the tournaments or the time to paint their miniatures. Not that we had any like hard and fast painting guidelines. I mean, we had a guy, he played Empire, and he made all his miniatures. Hello, angry. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Angry. I don't know why I said it like you were angry. I don't know if you're angry. You might just be like, hello, angry. Hello. I just imagine you say, hello, angry. Like, hello. Hello, angry. I don't know. I don't know you. You could have been, you could just been, no, I know him. We're friends. But yeah, temper your expectations. Try and not play in your tournaments. Unless you absolutely positively need to. I'll tell you a story. So, why that I learned this. I used to run, way back in the day, there used to be a WWE card game. It came out in 2000, I want to say. No, it came out in 99. It was called Raw Deal. And I became totally infatuated with it. Spent pretty much a college education on it. And I ended up being the TO for it for the longest time. I had players come and go. We lost a couple from like childhood illnesses and stuff like that. We had a pretty tight-knit community. And I always ran with the assumption that, we're more like a brotherhood than we are just a collection of players, right? Well, one of my players, fast forward, we're in a tournament several years later, and I got a complaint from a player. He's saying, hey, I was next to so-and-so, and when I was playing him, I noticed that he got the same exact cards against him that he got against me. Same everything. Same setup, same everything. And I said, really? And he goes, yeah. So I said, are you sure about this? And he goes, I am 100% positive. So I decided to kind of shadow him for a little bit. And then I noticed that he literally played the same hand, the same everything, the same way against this player that he played against another player. I'm like, huh. So at the end of the round, before anybody else started, he ended up winning that game. Go figure, because he had the perfect hand every single time. So round 3 comes up, and I tell everyone, I go, just a little reminder, if you want to cut your opponent's deck, you can cut it. Now, I don't know if this was the wrong move to make. And so they hadn't really begun the round yet. They were working on getting their hands squared away, doing all their shenanigans. And so the guy looks at my friend and says, "Hey, I want to cut your deck before you draw your hand." And he goes, "Well, why?" "Oh, it's just because, man, you know, it's a rule. We can do it." And he's like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And I'm sitting there listening to the guy try and talk his opponent out of saying, cutting his hand. And so he's like, "Yeah, you know." So dude cuts his hand, and then he absolutely tanks. Like, he just gets steamrolled. So he went from going two and two to 2 and 3 and not even making the top cut. And he said, "Well, why'd you make that announcement?" And I was like, "I'm just reminding people of the rules of the tournament." And I kind of looked at him like, "I know what you did, but I didn't call you out in front of people. So take this as a warning and don't do it again." But I didn't say those exact words. Maybe I should have said those exact words. Maybe I should have said, "Hey, I know what you were doing. I've had 2 or 3 complaints about it. Just take this as a warning and move on with your life." But I didn't. That was my fault. Also, I trusted the guy too much. So I come in to run the next tournament. The store owner comes, who I'm friends with, still friends with the store owner to this day, comes out to me and goes, "Hey, I just got a email from Comic Image's tournament group, and they say that you're no longer allowed to run tournaments." And I go, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, you're no longer allowed to run tournaments." And I go, "What they say?" He says, "Well, they said you were cheating for someone during one of the tournaments." And I said, "What? I don't even play in the tournaments. How can I cheat for someone during a tournament?" He goes, "I don't know. This is what they're telling me." So I found out through the grapevine, because I had some mutual friends in the community, that homeboy filed a complaint that day to their organization, had me removed, had himself installed. We're talking about a coup, guys. A coup in a dang card game. And so the store manager, he had no choice in the matter. I wasn't cleared to run tournaments. This guy was. So he immediately interjects himself in the tournaments. He's winning, and he's winning first place. On top of, and the tournament kits had specific promo cards that were really good. And so he was getting these specific promo cards on top of getting the same promo cards in his own kit for being a TO. That's one of the reasons why I never went into these tournaments. Because I got the item anyways. I got all of them. I got the belts and all the promo cards. So why would I need to go into the tournament to win them? Unless you're preventing other people from winning them so you can continually get more copy and then sell them, which was what he was doing. So needless to say, the community that I worked really hard building up from scratch was now like just destitute. It was like nobody wanted to play. Nobody came to the tournaments because he was the organizer. I ended up going to a lot of the players and saying, "Hey, we're going to run a league. It's not official. It's going to be more like TV type stuff. Like we're going to run our own storylines and do all this other stuff. Just don't tell this person." And that's what we ended up doing. But it was fun while it lasted. Wow, thank you for letting me tell that story. I've only told that to a few people, and now you guys know. This guy looks wicked. So yeah. Needless to say, dude who did all that a couple months later, he had the keys to the shop owner's shop, and he went in and borrowed a few things and never returned them. He was blacklisted, and yeah, a real winner. You screw over your own friends. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I watched him. And if you don't know, he was totally top decking. He was totally shuffling his cards, but he was putting the same few cards back on top so he could get them every single time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. We're going to switch over to the Dark Camo Green. If you guys have never played Raw Deal, it is still going to go down as one of my favorite card games that I've ever played, ever. And it was like any other TCG. They were one of the first games that I know of that had God packs in them. Hot pack. They were called hot packs. Just all foils. And the premiere set had Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Kane, Chris Jericho, and Mankind. And in subsequent re-releases of that set, Mankind became Cactus Jack. Then he became Dude Love. Then you had Mr. Foley, Mick Foley, and you could switch between all the personas. It was crazy. It was awesome. I remember. See, I was so invested in this game. I remember. At the same time, we were also playing Star Wars Minis, a Star Wars miniatures game run by Wizards of the Coast, where you had blind boxes of your so you didn't know what you got, but you kind of knew what you were gonna get. When they released the large figures, it was totally easy to tell what had the big figures in it. They just weighed ungodly more than all the rest of them. We just chatting. We talking about the old days. So, you guys got any favorite games? Non-existent games? I remember when I was running the league, our Raw Deal League, it was more like it wasn't really, I called it the league, but it really wasn't a league. There wasn't like a hierarchy or anything. It wasn't like, oh, you're the #1 player this week. It was literally, you build superstars, wrestlers, you showed up, and you entered. You could have max 3 superstars on you at any times. You could only enter them in one weight division. So you couldn't put like all 3 of them in the heavyweight. You had to put like one in the heavyweight. We had a cruiserweight, European, IC, and 2 heavyweights. And then we had tag teams. So they had tag team superstars. And so, and everyone, at least we had 3 or 4 superstars in each division. So it was fun just to see, like, I would create matches, and I was like the evil commissioner. I was basically Vince McMahon. And your Twitch name is perfect anagram of a human's pristine joint. Well, thank you, Okala. Okla? I almost said Okala. That's a fun fact, I guess. But yeah, we had a blast. I miss some green. Oh, I miss some green skin. Playing. It probably wouldn't be around today. But it did have a nice, healthy resurgence thanks to COVID. Because people were like, I don't know what, I want to do something indoors. So people started looking up all these like obscure old card games. There was a Monster Rancher card game. I absolutely adored that PlayStation series. Putting the different CDs in and seeing what you could get. And then I had a notebook. Me and my sister played. I had a notebook. Where it's like, oh, if you put this one in, you get the robot monster. And if you put this one in, you get this monster. She's like, oh, right. So she would go start her own game, and she'd be like, I got this out of this. This guy is crazy. We're going to pick some of the stuff, because these guys have been using black metallics as kind of like small pieces. So we'll probably do like black metallic there, black metallic there. We'll choose one of these leg plates and make that a black metallic. But yeah. That was the early days. I mean, we were so tight with this guy that we would literally all go to a Hungry Howie's buffet after the shop, and we would all hang out. And this is what this guy did to us. All because he was jealous. Jealousy is a ugly, ugly monster. Ugly, ugly monster. Anyways, thanks for the follows tonight, guys. Much appreciated, much obliged. We missing things. Thank you for letting this kooky old man travel down memory lane with you for a little bit. Yeah. Let's hold my breath on that one. Occasionally I tell one of my buddies who I was like, we were like serious tournament players for all that. When I was playing, Batista was ended up becoming my favorite superstar later on, way down the line. There were so many. And I raised him from I went, first like 3 or 4 tournaments I might have gotten like 1 win. And I just kept on working on it, changing it up. And finally, eventually, I got to the point where he was good. And I went to a world qualifier. And I ended up finishing, and I got kicked out in the Elite 8. And I was shocked. Because there was already 2 guys there that had punched their tickets. And they were just trying to get more. So, and yeah, I also missed the feet. I went right from the feet, right from the armor to the feet, or just bypass the feet. I always tell my friend, I'm like, dude, I have like raw deal sitting in eBay, like it's either telling me about new auctions for cards or new auctions for the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Raw Deal, where he's like a Russian like police officer who comes to New York. You know, insert cheesy 80s movie plot here, right? What is going on? So, yeah, it is, it's not a very cost-effective game anymore. Like I said, COVID came and really like jacked the prices up on that thing. Before that, I was like, oh, we'll get back into it. And I ended up buying a bunch of old decks, because you would get the superstars in decks, and the decks were never good. I kind of fixed that a little bit later on, where you get a bunch of rare cards in there. But other than that, they were still like never super good. And oh god, I love this green. There's green on there, guys. We need to keep him on there. What are we doing? See, this is when I'm just chilling and just painting. This is what happens. We just bounce back and forth between colors, and it drives some people crazy. They're like, what do we just pick a color and do it all? And in my brain, I'm just like, nope, I want to do this one now. Nope, I want to do this one. Nope, I want to do this one. The only thing I don't do that to is metallics. Because you don't want metallic pigments in your paint, man. He's kind of got human feet, which is a little scary, to be honest. It's a little messed up. Now, I did not assemble this guy. I bought him used. I was like, oh. I got him from Fire Miniatures. One of my favorite places to shop. In the United States. But he's got very, like, human-like feet, which kind of just scares me just a little bit. Just a little bit, though. The heck is she watching? Can't believe I talked about Raw Deal for 30 minutes. And most of you are going, what the frick is he talking about? I've never heard of this game. It was definitely a different type of game. I think at one point it was the number 2 card game behind Pokemon, because I think at one time it actually overtook Magic for like a month, which is crazy to say, but wrestling was big then, like super big. I mean, everyone and their brother knew who Stone Cold and Steve Austin, DX, and The Rock were. Now you'd be like, who is Danhausen? And the wrestling fans are going to know. The normies, not so much. The normies, not so much. Woo! Alright, we're going to switch over to some 40k stuff now. See what I mean? I could go and say, let's get this guy going. This guy looks so cool, dude. These guys are like, no undershirts, please. None. 0 undershirts. I fit on this old handle. No. Okay. All right. Whew. Oh, we can fit on that one. I got something. Well, maybe not. We'll see. I think this one does expand. This one I 3D printed. This handle. Wonderful handle. Highly suggested. If you got access to a 3D printer, go and find this guy. Ashwood. Alright, we're going to be painting some cables. I don't know why I'm doing this, but We're painting some cables, baby. And I think we might use our thinner tip here. Let's get that guy wet and so nervous. Hazel's here. Do you need room? You got plenty here. Nope, you got it. You got it, baby kitty. I printed the same handle. There we go. Thank you for the first time, chat. Yeah, these are great handles. I still got to find proper it's good. I got to find the proper screws for them. I thought I got the proper ones. Why is this tip is just... I think this one might be really seriously on its way out. I think it's got dried paint somewhere in it. But yeah, I dig it a lot. I might have to switch back to this other one, because this tip is not staying out well. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Don't ask me why I'm doing this, guys. I don't know. Maybe do it this way. Trying to be careful. Kind of want to just add a little bit of like... I got all these like earth tones. I want to just add just a tiny bit of like... mechanized, I guess you could say. like mechanical feel to it. Not just complete like nature. Well, at least if I go over it, it's white. Nah, this isn't. It'll be the red that gets painted. Whew. Oh. Like I said, I am no way, shape, or form the best painter in the world. But I'm just glad you guys are here experiencing the tomfoolery with me. I would definitely say to Phil, if you're still there. This is definitely worth the print. Tooth is fine. Well, there you go. Tooth is definitely worth it. Now I'm just imagining the water boy. Anyone know why alligators are so ornery? Mama says it's because they got all them tooths and no toothbrush. Mama said. No, Colonel Sanders, you're wrong. I really do like this model. It is so flippin' cool. Boop, boop, boop. Well, I hope you do muster up that courage. I printed one and destroyed it. Press yes. I did that to a couple of them. I did it and then didn't learn my lesson. I'm just like, no. It couldn't be that I pushed it in too far. It's got to be that it was just, bad luck. And then I did it the next time. I was like, okay, maybe we don't need to screw it in that too. And yeah. I'm very stubborn. I have to make the same mistake several times before I actually learn. Alright. Putting some black on now. I don't think I've gotten... Coal black. all else fails, we'll just paint over both of these. Hope everyone's having a great week. Ugh. I'm not too worried. They're just cables. Just use this black to touch up the edges a little bit. This is crazy. There's like 4 cables in there. We're gonna leave one of them gray. Okay. Gotta be careful here. Gotta be careful. Black nails. I didn't realize orcs had black claws and stuff. Does anyone else, when they paint, do they need to wear magnifiers? Magnifiers? Yeah, we got some touching up to do on this guy, for sure. I'm not going to stress out over the cables too much, though. We need our red. Where'd our red go? Red, there you are. Tooth is fine. Tooth! Tooth! Hope everyone's having a nice evening. Oh, come on. Hope everyone's having a nice evening. What is going on here? There we go. I'm having a great evening, great week, great evening, great everything. Anytime I get to sit down and paint is going to be a good night. All right. And we need a little bit of red. Because I'm going to try and switch back to this one. Let's try and switch back to this one. This one might be donezo. We have ourselves... Oh, we'll just leave him on there. We have ourselves a guy with a squig. And we need to paint said squig. So I got some... Is this Pyro Red? From Bold Pyro Red. Yeah, a little squig right down here. I think we'll just go ahead and just hit them all with red, except for the eyes. I'll have to look with it, see what eye color he's got. They've upped the squig count on the orcs. No, my brush. It's falling. Stay over there, bud. I got 2 games on Saturday. I'm filling in for our Big Brother team in an upper division. And then I have my actual game, and they're separated by 2 hours. 2 hours. And it's going to be crazy. I don't know how exhausted I'm going to be. I don't know how exhausted I'm going to be. I don't know how. It's just going to be crazy. I know I shouldn't just be painting it all red, but okay. I dislike this yellow so much that it is now it has now become red. also think red just exemplifies a power source more. We dig this. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Schei wie dei, wie du wie dei, heid aber heid wird's lustig sein. Schei wie dei, wie du wie dei, Madel hängt die bei mir rein. Schei wie du wie dei, auf geht's Burmann, Ost vor drei. Schei wie du wie dei, Gaudi, das muss sein.
And there goes Els. Thanks for the little spinning there, Els. I kind of want this to be a little bit brighter. Like I just want to add a few bright colors to this. There we go. Our squig is ready for another coat. Thank you, Els. Okay. Got a little bit of sand in there. Dirt. I'm not going to make too many large-scale changes to this guy. And then we're going to come back and we'll bone up the... So let's leave him on his base. Let's come back over to him. And let's grab our bone color. Keki. Bone. Bone! Manotha Music Tributes. I think that's what we're going for. One day. I'm just not taking my time like I usually do. So let's slow it down. And we got to paint the inside. Let's go. Thank you guys for coming in, tuning in tonight. If you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the content creator, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. Become a follower. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Just have to close the door just a tiny bit. You guys don't hear the wife listening to the Korean romantic dramas, comedy dramas. This is crazy. Look at that. I love it. One of these guys I thought had a... Okay, I already got him. Got some human skulls hanging there. All right, I think we're done with our bone. Got like 10 minutes left. This guy could use a little... He could use a little bone color. I was going to say something completely different. I had to watch it. Because we never know who's lurking, ready to create a clip. Oh, too much on there. So a little too much. There we go. I have noticed that with some of these Pro Acryl paints, they do not like being watered down too much if you're using them as a paint. They get very runny. I forgot this guy's gonna have a lot of like bone color on him. These little bones. Bones, 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 bones. Watch me slap these bones, bones. Bones, 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 bones. Guys, want to see me play the bones? Guy's a spellcaster, a chanter, throwing some prayers down. Plain and bones. So what do we all think of Back to the Future? Why is that such a good movie? Got one bone done. Let's go with the other bone. All right, we're gonna finish up here soon. Short stream tonight. Honestly, didn't know if I was gonna actually stream tonight, because me and the wife were busy. No, not that. We were snuggling on the couch. I was about ready. I was like probably 10-15 minutes away from sleepy, falling asleep. I'm like, I better get up. Don't want to disturb her. But she eventually got up and I came in here, made a quick thumbnail for the YouTube stream. I'll be back Sunday. I just got too much stuff to do. Might be tomorrow. There's a mouth there, I promise you. You can see it. Let's just go around here, touch up this finger real quick. Oh, Hazel's in here with me. Yeah, see her coming. Now the question is what color do we paint? Do we paint these guys? We're not gonna do them tonight. But what color do we paint those guys? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Go. See, Redgrass Games. Squidmore Miniatures. Love this wet pet palette. Oh, it fell. It fell. There we go. What are you looking at, ma'am? All right, there we go. Done for tonight. Thank you all to all the new followers tonight. Thank you for the raid. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna raid tonight. We're gonna raid the Walter's Workshop YouTube. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Thanks for chilling, hanging out. We'll see you later. Peace. Over here.